Good, I did. It's a big shit.
So we're here with Liam of the Two Best Friends yet again.
Thank you for having me.
I just wanted to let you know that you're falling way behind. Willie is trailing you guys with the views over here. He is killing it on our channel.
Really? Well, we'll see what we can do about that.
All right. So, way back, like long ago on the podcast, you said the word Toriko.
Which word?
Toriko. And then I guess Matt, Willie, and Pat were like, he just said some word, we're just going to let it fly. How are you really familiar with Toriko? How far are you in, and what are your just general thoughts on Toriko?
You mean Toriko, or?
That's probably how you say it. See, I've learned something today.
I may have made a mistake, yeah. I think I may have meant Toriko. What, do you know the context?
I think you were talking about like the J All-Stars game for like PS3, and you mentioned him.
Toriko, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, yeah, I read 22 volumes of it. I'm very fond of it. It's been quite a few years, though. I think 2 years I fell off really hard, but I was very fond of it.
Have you taken a look at the anime by any chance?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, your typical Shonen Jump adaptation, so the quality's not killer. I like the voiceovers, though.
Oh, no, they're great. I just have one warning for you. They half-assed the ending.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Perfect. I'll be sure to watch it now.
A recommendation straight from me. No, it's awful. Like, it's just basically like, let's all sit at a table. Oh, wait, the villain's here? You know, the one that we've hated? Oh, I'm just not going to do anything. Bye, everybody. Just fades into the distance. That's fine. With that, because, like, we were doing our own, like, Twitch stream of, like, Nintendo.
Sure,
and we were trying really hard. And we went back and forth with you. I think we actually streamed us going to your stream struggling. And was that struggle super real?
I mean, part of it was like Pat was really miserable and sick that morning. Like when we got to his place, he was already like, I'm not feeling it. And you can see him actually fall asleep during the stream. He actually got really sick. It put us behind on recordings. But like, so there was that, and we were already like, okay, don't bug Pat. And then it was like, oh, we're gonna watch 40 minutes of Pokemon after this hype Zelda trailer. And I mean, like, I don't dislike Pokemon. I came for Zelda, and I didn't really want to watch I would never click on a 40-minute Pokemon video nowadays. So that was kind of a bummer. And then the first like hour or so of Zelda was cool because it was like, yo, look at all this stuff. But then after a while, like, they weren't really showing a whole lot of new after a certain amount. So it was a 40-minute presentation stretched out to like 5 hours.
Well, my friend Bob told me like before this, they strictly said we're showing 2 games, that's it. We don't have anything and all that stuff, but like still, like with that Pokemon thing, it's like, all right, we get it. We've all played Pokemon, and you're just, like, there were some new things, I'll give them that, but it's like you could have just shown 5 new Pokemon, 10-second trailer, and everyone would have been happy.
The game, I mean, honestly, it looks very, very good, but I don't know, maybe it was on their schedule, but either way, we missed it. We were only expecting Zelda, so yeah, we were a little bummed by that. And a lot of people thought that we cut off because we were like so unexcited. We would have kept going, but like, Pat was sleeping at that point, and like we had to record the podcast, and like we literally just ran out of time. So
there was nothing.
Yeah, we just cut and run. We missed some cool stuff in the end that I had to see in GIF format, but hey, what are you gonna do?
And there's always like reviewers that people are like, hey, there was this, and this, and they'll just ballpark it for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
What are your thoughts? Because I know you gave your whole in-depth of the new Star Fox, which I highly agree with you, and you know, people should just give the game a shot. I understand like the hype on it. What are your thoughts on Command? Because I'm interested about that.
Star Fox Command is a really fucking cool game and has by far the most story in any Star Fox game. And I think if you're into Star Fox's story at all, you should absolutely play Command through. You'll get so much out of it that you won't find in any other game. The only thing is, I went back to it recently because it came out on the Wii U Virtual Console. It's a little less fun than I remembered, to be honest. Maybe I was a bit more lenient because I was younger. But when I tried to play through it a little to see if it was like viable for a Let's Play on the channel, I was kind of like, oh, this is way slower than I remember. So I think it's not as good as Zero, to be honest, and I think it's pretty strictly for those who either really need more Star Fox or for those who want the story, because the story stuff you get out of it is fantastic.
Yeah, me and Dan took a look at it because like I want to do something for Star Fox Week and I want to do a whole thing, but it never happened. So we took a look at it and it's like, number one, this is not a game that you just put for touch controls at all.
Yeah, like they tried, but you know, it's just a little, it's just so slow, and the way the battle formats are, like they're all so samey, you know.
Now you're saying that like the command story is strong. Like I'm there with like, I don't like Crystal, I don't want her in my game, and I don't want the love triangle that's like a wrestling promo. What are your thoughts on Crystal? You think that she benefits in the series, or if she should go away?
I honestly don't think Crystal takes away from Star Fox even a little bit. I know a lot of nowadays a lot of like anthropomorphic art kind of gets like slated for being furry shit and stuff, and Crystal definitely came about you know, once the internet was well and strong, and that kind of like let's just shit on everything for being furry culture began. But I genuinely don't think she takes away from it in any significant way. Rare did some odd bits of like sexualization in Dinosaur Planet, where like Fox is like looking at her and he's like hubba hubba, you know, and that's kind of stupid. But like beyond that, in like Assault and Command and stuff, I don't really think she takes away. I think the bit where she becomes Dark Crystal or whatever in that one Command ending is a bit odd, but like, for me, the canon ends with Crystal and Fox's children being part of the new Star Fox. So for me, like, yeah, she is totally canon, and I'm all for that. Yeah.
Now, what? Damn it, I had something. What was it?
It's okay. We can just keep talking about Crystal.
Oh no, that's what everyone's come for. Damn, it will come back to me. Now, was Star Fox Zero frustrating to record? Because I remember I played it, and then I saw it was like, okay, so you're just not going to let my viewers hear the voice. I'm going to have a mic to the thing. How frustrating was that? And did you know beforehand?
Yeah, so I had played through it beforehand because I kind of just wanted to make sure it was worth our time after the reviews were kind of mixed, and it totally was. But like, for like the microphone, and let me borrow this for a sec. Our mic was like this, like on its stand with like a big spit guard right there on my face, right? So my visibility was bad, and then I was holding the gamepad like that, right? It's a lot bigger than that, but and it was behind the mic, but close enough that the audio could like come into the mic, and I had to keep moving it around the mic like that and playing around the microphone. By far the hardest LP to ever record that we've done. I don't regret it at all. It was super fun, but there were some bits where it was hard to play because I had to like do all this bullshit. A lot more fun to play casually, I'll tell you that much.
I was definitely just because when I saw like the artwork for it, I'm like, wow, that's really, really strong. Yeah. And it's like, I want that for me, because like I've gone on record saying like my favorite game of all time is Star Fox 64, so I have a really big like affinity for the game, and I really wanted Star Fox Zero to work. And I honestly, I don't regret it. I felt, and because I know that you've gone on record saying that like you're not 100% like with the story, and I've gone on record saying honestly they changed a decent amount of it to the point where it's just like I can live with this. I mean, because I didn't like really where the direction was going. I know that you kind of differ with that, but it's like, that's fair. I think for them to play it safe, especially with controls like that, I feel it was okay. I don't know, like from there, like I don't know what you think with that.
My perspective on it, the only reason I don't really dig the story in Zero is because it's the same story.
Yeah.
Like I like 64's story, but ultimately, like, what was the last Star Fox game that came out before Zero? Yeah. It was Star Fox 64 3D, right? So it's like I literally just played this a few years back. To me, I really wish they had deviated and used the portals a little more. I remember there was an interview where they alluded to time travel as well, and that was something that like does get like lightly touched upon in Zero, but you know, leading up, I was hoping there was going to be a bit more platinum in it than there was. You know, I was hoping we get to a bit where, I don't know, Fox steals a wolfen and goes back in time and shoots down Pigma and saves James. You know, I was hoping for a bit where you fly James and Fox alongside each other. You know, I was really hoping they would do some really cool...
That's very strong.
I was hoping they'd do some super sick, dope platinum storytelling stuff. But ultimately, it's clear that Nintendo, well, it seems like Nintendo was in charge of the story a bit more, because it really is basically just Star Fox 64 again. So yeah, it's not so much that I dislike the story, but that it's just the same one again. And personally, the reason I think they should have deviated more is because like it doesn't really add anything. Like for someone who's not down for the controls, there's no reward for playing through the game if you're not down, because you get to the end and you're like, okay, that was Star Fox 64 again. And for people who are down with the controls, you get to the end and you're like, okay, that was Star Fox 64 again. So
the one thing I will say, and I know like what got the Platinum Touch, and I said, and honestly, if anything got the Platinum Touch, I got it. Like the Star Wolf team in that game is the strongest I've ever seen them, and like that final bit where they just turn into Zoids is like strong. So that's why it's like the final boss is meh, but that just like you did it. You made Star Wolf look awesome.
Yeah. All the sections with Star Wolf and Zero are like deeply satisfying. Totally, they're really, really good. So totally with you on that one.
And I had one other thing, because I've started to have this opinion because I've seen how it is, and Miyamoto's great. Like he's basically created so many great babies that like we all just like crowd around. It's like, that's a beautiful, cute baby. But it's like, it seems like he's so heavily guarding his babies, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna let you have my baby unless I can think of some weird, kooky way to use them. Do you think that he's kind of hurting the brand with that? Like for instance, he said like F-Zero, it's like, I'm not gonna release an F-Zero unless I can change it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the number one thing to always bear in mind is we will never really know how much input he gave on these games. 100%. We know a certain amount. That being said, I am going to slate him a little bit, but I just want to put that out there. Yeah, no, definitely. He has never been perfect. You know, Wii Music was what it was. It wasn't a particularly enjoyable game, but it was kind of a tech demo of sorts. You know, Star Fox Zero. I do think the controls were really well intentioned, and I really maintain that by like making the skill ceiling go so much higher, you can get a better experience if you put yourself into it. But the cost was like raising the skill floor by a ridiculous amount, and like thus turning a lot of people off of it. And I think the real vice for Zero was not having new content for people to have like to experience as like a reward for learning that. Yeah, concerning like F-Zero, I don't really agree with him. It's, you know, if we need something new for every game, I can see how Mario Kart did that with like the gliders and the gravity, but that's barely anything. Like, come on, we don't need a new gimmick for Star Fox, you know, or for Star Fox. Pardon me, for F-Zero.
I mean, Fast Racing Neo is like, okay, let's just do that.
But you know, and then on the other hand, you look at Pikmin 3, and Pikmin 3 is an absolute complete masterpiece, and I think it uses the gamepad better than any other game on the Wii U. So I think it depends, and I think he is well intentioned, totally, but I do think maybe he is a little too conservative on that. And I think the only other one to talk about is Paper Mario.
I was just gonna say, and what about Paper Mario?
Yeah, so you know, if what we've heard is true, and that he said, you know, I'd rather you not use original characters and such, that's just not what Paper Mario ever was, and it's just kind of a bummer that he deviated the games like that, you know. That's it.
Has he ever said why, or is it just like no?
I don't remember if there was ever an explanation. I think it came out, I think that like information came out in an Iwata Asks at one point, but I don't think there was ever a real definitive thing. I do know that recently there was an interview with the producer for Paper Mario Color Splash, and she said that a big part of it was because a big part of why Paper Mario is no longer an RPG, like a traditional RPG, is because of the overlap with Mario and Luigi as a series, because they're both traditional RPGs. And to that, I just say, like, come on, Paper Mario came first. Like,
I mean, Mario and Luigi is strong, but I think Paper Mario is way stronger. And plus, I mean, I was thinking like this earlier. It's like their relationship with Square Enix has like gotten way better. So it's like, why not give them a try with it?
Yeah, I mean, I like having worked at like for Square Enix for a while. I know like Nintendo and Square have always been like super close, and I know they've got some really cool stuff coming actually. But
you know, Ever Oasis looks awesome.
Yeah, Ever Oasis looks dope. But that's by Grezzo. But yeah, that game looks sick. I don't know. I wish they would give him a shot, but it seems to me like it's going to take an awful lot of shit for Paper Mario to go back. I really, really hope that after this one they can go back to a more traditional Paper Mario. Yeah.
Anything like what's on the docket or channel?
Yeah. This week I have way more games to play than I have time. I gotta put in my 40 hours for Overwatch, gotta go to work, you know. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, I'm super down to play that. Star Ocean 5 comes out this week, I'm so excited. Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. God Eater Resurrection. Like, this week is fucking packed if you're a huge weeb. So I'm super excited to get home and play a bunch of games. I can't promise that they'll all be on the channel though, that's for sure. There's just too much of it, so.
There's one thing that you could promise on the channel, proving Pat wrong about Nier.
Yeah, I'm really satisfied that almost all of his guesses are just completely wrong, so yeah, that's gonna be a good time.
Thanks, man, I appreciate your time.
No, it's my pleasure. Thanks again.
Well, one more thing, that new the gameplay that for the new Nier.
The gameplay for the new Nier looks fucking dope, and I'm so glad that you can look at it and still see how it maintains the old Nier-ness, how you still have the big world. It's not just like Platinum Corridor combat, it's still Nier, just better, hopefully. Thanks again.